You know what's funny? If you pay close attention to the background of YouTuber set these days, you'll probably see a screen with some cool wallpaper they definitely want to sell you in some wallpaper pack. Probably a $5,000 custom built gaming PC or some overpriced Mac too. Likely some cool practical lights or artwork their super talented friend made for them. Oh yeah, and definitely a standing desk. It's not a YouTube set without one of those. Oh wait, what's that? No, not the little webcam that follows you around. That. You see that? That, my friends, is a monitor light. A growing trend amongst the tech YouTuber community. And the funny thing is, it almost seems like everyone has the same one. Hey, would you stop talking? I'm trying to watch the video. Oh, sorry. What is up, guys? My name is Tyler, and today we're talking about the Screen Bar Halo from BenQ. But before we dive into this, yes, BenQ did send me this light, and no, they didn't pay me to talk about it or get any input on the video itself. They don't even get to see this video before it goes live, so you're watching it for the first time just like they are. And while I didn't pay for it, you're seeing this video simply because I can't live without it. Not only that, but I recently noticed how many other creators also have this light, and so that's when I realized it was time to talk about it, because let's be real, monitor light bars are two things, highly underrated and severely misunderstood. And some of you are probably already wondering, why in the world would I want a light above my monitor? And trust me, I get it, because that was literally me a few months ago. I couldn't for the life of me understand why you'd want a light pointing down across your monitor, because the first thing that comes to my mind is glare. Well, I'm happy to report that even with a super reflective glass display like the Apple Studio display, you get literally zero. And I mean zero glare. It's actually impressive. So what is it? How does it work? Yada, yada, yada. So the light itself is about 20 inches wide and can fit both flat and curved monitors with included mounts, as well as this super sleek controller that we'll get to in a bit. It's powered through a single USB-A cable, although I really wish it was USB-C, and it sits atop your monitor using a sort of fancy counterweight system that BenQ describes as, and I quote, you can't make this up, Screen Bar Series patent clamp design is inspired by the hanging instinct of animals. And while I don't fully understand where they're going with that, it basically means the screen bar won't damage your precious Apple Studio display that cost as much as, I guess, adopting some sort of small exotic animal. So there you go. And there's no shortage of this kind of stuff on the product page either. The whole thing is quite an interesting read. I'll leave it below if you want to go read through it, because BenQ really dives deep into the philosophy behind desk lighting and even references IEEE standards, showcasing how this is more than a light, but actually a health product, reducing eye strain and improving your overall office experience. Something we really support. So kudos to BenQ's smart lighting team for not just slapping RGB strip into this thing and calling it a day. I think now more than ever, office health is becoming more and more a priority as more and more people find themselves in front of a screen for more hours of the day. That being said, the light comes with 3 light modes that take advantage of the 2 lights built into the screen bar. Yes, 2 lights. There's a cleverly hidden splash light built into the aforementioned counterweight that shines light against your wall and bounces it back at you. Something we've talked about before, because indirect light can be just as useful as direct light, and in the case of the screen bar, it's taking full advantage of indirect bounce light, which, if you ask me, is pretty freaking awesome. So you basically have the front light, the rear light, or both. Each mode is really dependent on your environment. I find myself using both the rear and front light at all times because I have white walls. So the rear light gives a nice backlight behind my setup that I not only enjoy looking at, but I find helps with eye strain when working on my setup at night when the room lights are off. All these modes can be toggled via the controller using the button on the bottom. Speaking of the controller, it's honestly what makes using the screen bar such a good experience. Anymore today, everyone is moving towards software-controlled apps, and while it might save clutter on your desk, no one can seem to make an app that doesn't just annoy the crap out of you every time you log into your PC. You know what I'm talking about. You turn your PC on, and within 10 seconds, you got Corsair iQ, Logitech G Hub, Beacon Audio, Razer Chroma, all trying to launch at the same damn time, and all you want to do is turn your lights on. Well, BenQ went away with any apps and just made a simple, beautiful looking controller that honestly adds to the aesthetic of your desk in a sophisticated way while also being highly functional. It has this wonderful aluminum dial around it that you use to adjust the light settings and has touch capacitive buttons that light up so you always know what's going on. My only gripe is that it takes batteries, where I wish it was rechargeable. However, don't expect it to die. I've been using mine for months and have never had to replace the AAA batteries that came with it. The controller has a few obvious controls like brightness and color temperature because no, it's not RGB, and it's not supposed to be. There's a mode button, which we talked about before, a favorites button, and an auto button. This one's cool because the Screen Bar Halo has a built-in light sensor that will measure your environment's ambient light and adjust the output to best prevent eye strain. Instead of a harsh point of concentrated light like a traditional desk lamp, the Screen Bar is specifically designed to project light in an oval-like shape around your work area so that the lighting is even across the central spot in front of your monitor. This is likely where your keyboard and your mouse live and any documents you might be working on, something you don't really understand until you actually see it for the first time. And the Screen Bar Halo isn't just some LED strip pointed down. BenQ actually engineered the light in such a way that it only outputs at a certain angle, which is why it doesn't cause glare. Glare is one of the leading causes of eye strain, so BenQ used an asymmetrical optical design that effectively bounces the LED light down and away from your monitor at almost a 90-degree angle from the LEDs themselves, essentially shaping the light output rather than just blasting light downward. It's sort of hard to illustrate, but trust me when I say it works. I was genuinely impressed the first time I turned it on, as I truly expected it to just be an LED strip pointed down. Better yet, the angle of the light is adjustable, so if you need the light to cast further from your display, say if you have a curved display, then you can tilt the light toward or away from you to match your needs. For me personally, I've never had issues with the light being distracting from my point of view, but I do recommend angling the light and your monitor in such a way that you're not able to actually see the LEDs in the screen bar to get the maximum effect. So who cares? It's just a light, right? Well, according to ophthalmologists, while using a computer for extended periods of time will not permanently damage your eyes, it will almost certainly cause eye strain, something we've all experienced. And one of the best ways to combat eye strain is simply to adjust the lighting in your room. This will help prevent headaches, blurry vision, and irritated eyes after long days on the computer, which, if you ask me, is totally worth it. I can't think of a single day where I haven't had it on. It seamlessly blends into my desk setup, and most of the time, I don't really notice it's there. But what I have noticed is that I don't experience eye strain nearly as often anymore, even during the day. The light can be useful for just evening out the lighting on your desk, which makes working a lot more comfortable. Eye health aside, something unique I've been using the Screen Bar for is for lighting up my desk for B-roll and product shots. Some of you have probably noticed a lot of my B-roll lately takes place on this desk, and if you wanted to know how I light it up so evenly, it's literally the Screen Bar. That's it. The most unexpected use case, but if you don't have a lot of space and need a solid top-down light, something like the Screen Bar is honestly super helpful. A couple things I want to mention, however, are that if you're using a display like the Apple Studio display with a built-in webcam, you likely will cover it up, so keep that in mind. BenQ does have a little webcam attachment you can get if you need it, but I just put mine off to the side. The other thing I want to mention is the price. The Screen Bar Halo is $180, which is steep for a monitor light, but in my opinion, a worthy investment if you do spend a lot of time on the computer. BenQ does have some less expensive options, but all are going to be north of $100, lacking some of the nice features you get on the Halo, like the wireless controller and continuous auto dimming. So to wrap things up, the Screen Bar Halo from BenQ is a simple yet slightly over-engineered monitor light that isn't just for upping your office aesthetic, but something that genuinely improves your health by reducing unnecessary eye strain. It's a simple and straightforward approach to office lighting that has several practical uses, all while quietly sitting atop your monitor only to greet you each and every time you sit down at your desk. It's a bit pricey, but is likely something you only need to purchase once and will last you several desk setups over the years. Is it worth $180? To be honest, I don't think I would have purchased this unless I had the opportunity to see it for myself first. It really is one of those things that you don't see the value in until you actually use it. What I can say is that it definitely is something I recommend if you're looking for a solid desk light. But that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and as always, make sure to subscribe to see more content like this. You can follow me on X, TikTok, and Instagram at xxiv_concept. That's 24 concept. Learn your Roman numerals. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.